Hello Lemurites, welcome to your biology class. And children, let me remind you that few of you haven't done the home assignment. Kindly complete the home assignment and upload in the platform. And last class we learned about the cell shape and size. We learned that the size and shape of the cell varies based on the function which the cell performs. We have learned about cells which shows various shapes. In today's class we are going to learn about the part of the cells of cell. So children, though cells may differ in their shape and size, they show similarity in their structure. That means all cells have similar structure and components. For example, nerve cells, muscle cells, X cells, WBC, RBC, all these cells have different size and shapes, but they have similar structure. A typical cell consists of three parts. They are, first one is the cell membrane, or plasma membrane. Second part is cytoplasm. Third part is nucleus. So children, a typical cell contains three parts. First part is a cell membrane, or it is called plasma membrane. Second part is cytoplasm, and third part is called nucleus. In today's class, we are going to learn about cell membrane and cytoplasm. Children, I have brought the models of plant cell and animal cell to your class. Both the cells consist of three parts. They are cell membrane, cytoplasm, and nucleus. We will learn the parts of cell using these models which your seniors have made. So let's study about the first part, that is cell membrane or plasma membrane. So this is a plant cell, and here you can see the cell wall represented as red color or maroon color. Every cell has a thin dedicated membrane called plasma membrane. Here the plasma membrane is the inner lining of the cell. Plasma membrane is the outer layer of a cell, whereas cytoplasm is the inner fluid material of a cell. And nucleus is separate from cytoplasm as it is having a different membrane. Every cell is bound by a thin dedicated membrane, and this membrane is called cell membrane or plasma membrane. So let's see the plasma membrane in an animal cell. Here you can see a black line, and this line represents the plasma membrane of an animal cell. This plasma membrane is the outer covering which covers the cell content and cytoplasm. And in plant cell, there is a difference from animal cell, that is, plant cell have a separate cell wall. So plasma membrane is seen outside the cytoplasm, covering and protecting the cytoplasm and cell content. In this plant cell, the innermost layer represented by a maroon thread is plasma membrane. What is the function of this? Now, what is the function of this plasma membrane? First function is the plasma membrane control the entry and exit of the cell materials. That is, the plasma membrane is porous. Plasma membrane is porous. That is, the plasma membrane has certain pores within which allow the entry and exit of selected substance only, which means the plasma membrane is selectively permeable. Plasma membrane is selectively permeable. So the first function of plasma membrane is porous in nature. That means it allows entry and exit of selected substance only. Hence it is considered as selectively permeable. Now, the second function, Second function is it acts like a boundary, an outer boundary to the cell and separate the cell from one another and also from the surrounding medium. So likewise, it protects the cell from injury. So second function teacher is going to write, that is, it acts as boundary. Boundary. So here you can see the plasma membrane. It is providing a boundary. See, it is providing a boundary to the cell. It separates this cell from one another and also protect this cell from surrounding medium. So the second function is it acts as a boundary. Now teacher just mentioned when I showed the plant cell that plant cell is having an extra covering, and that extra covering is called a cell wall. Cell wall. So plant cell having an outer cell wall. So that is a difference between plant cell and other cells, other bacterial cells, animal cells. Bacterial cells and animal cells, they doesn't have any cell wall, whereas plant cell is having a cell wall. So here when you observe the plant cell and animal cell, this innermost layer represents the cell membrane, whereas it's also having a double layered cell wall. Here you see, this is an animal cell. This is a representation of plasma membrane. It doesn't have any cell wall. All the other contents are similar. So we learned two functions of the cell membrane. First one is it is porous, it is selectively permeable, and the second one is it acts as a boundary. We learned that in plant cell alone there is an outer membrane which acts as an additional boundary, and it is called a cell wall. Now you may be wondering why this plant cell only have cell wall, isn't it? Because we know the plants doesn't move from one place to another place. So plants need special protection in order to protect themselves from wind, temperature, atmospheric moisture, etc. So this cell wall gives the cell more protection. So that is the reason for the presence of cell wall in plant cell. Now we are moving to the second part of the cell, that is cytoplasm. So second part is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm represents the inner jelly-like content of the cell, and this cytoplasm is bound by cell membrane. When we learned about the cell membrane, that cell membrane covers the cytoplasm and cell content, isn't it? Cytoplasm occupies the space between cell membrane and nucleus. So cytoplasm is between cell membrane and nucleus. So this is the position of cytoplasm, and cytoplasm contains many cytoplasmic materials like mitochondria, Golgi body, ribosome, endoplasmic reticulum, etc. And these cytoplasmic materials are called cell organelles. Cell organelles. And about cell organelles we will learn in this chapter itself in upcoming class. Now what is the function of the cytoplasm? Yes, cytoplasm function is all the chemical reactions happening in the cell happens in this cytoplasm. So the first function is it is a site for all chemical reactions. Site for all chemical reactions. All chemical reactions. So cytoplasm is the site for all chemical reaction. That is its first function. Now the second function is it contains cytoplasmic bodies. Contains cytoplasmic bodies. These cytoplasmic bodies are called cell organelles. So inside this plasma membrane, it contains a jelly-like content, and that content is called cytoplasm. And all other structures, see, nucleus, ribosome, mitochondria, Golgi body, endoplasmic reticulum, all these structures are inside this fluid. In plant cell also, all the cell organelles like nucleus, mitochondria, Golgi body, all the cell organelles are embedded inside the cytoplasm, and it is a jelly-like content. And the function of cytoplasm, the first function is all the chemical reactions happen in the cytoplasm. So it acts as site for all chemical reactions. And the second function is it contains the cytoplasmic bodies. That means all the cell organelles. So children, in today's class we learned about the parts of cell. We learned there are three parts for a cell, that is cell membrane or plasma membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. We learned about the function of cell membrane and cytoplasm. Let's summarize what we learned in today's class in a video.
Structure of a cell. The cells differ in their shapes and sizes. The animal and plant cells are not exactly the same. However, they show some similarities in their structure. A typical cell consists of three parts: cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. Cell membrane or plasma membrane. Every cell is bound by a thin delicate membrane called cell membrane or plasma membrane. The membrane separates cells from one another and from the surrounding medium. Functions. Plasma membrane is porous and allows the entry and exit of only selected substances. It also prevents the movement of some other substances across it. Thus, it is also called selectively permeable membrane. It provides an outer boundary to the cell and separates cells from one another and also from the surrounding medium. It also protects the cell from injury. Cytoplasm is a thick, jelly-like fluid inside the cell membrane. It occupies the space between the cell membrane and the nucleus. There are many small cytoplasmic bodies in the cytoplasm. These are mitochondria, Golgi bodies, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, etc. These are called cell organelles.
So children, don't forget to go through your textbook, page number 90 and 91. It contains the portions which we learned in today's class. See you next class. Thank you.